Good Monday morning, everybody. It is April the 1st, and I'm Chris Allen here on the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Notice I've got different here, red, severe weather, the QR code right there. Even weather stick is red. It's not necessarily for today. This is more for tomorrow. But I want to get you into that mode of we've got some severe weather coming. And I want you to be thinking about it today before it happens and to understand that it really does look like it's going to happen for us. This is not anything we like or enjoy talking about because we've had so many of these close calls or sometimes just direct hits. And this could be one of those potentially. Potentially, it could be one of those. And that's why I decided today to put up the red and to get you in the mode of thinking about what's coming. This is not an April Fool's joke. I did all that on the radio. This is not that. This is genuine threat of severe weather. I want to go right into that before I do anything else and just give you a little preview of what's coming here for us, especially during the day tomorrow. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, of course, is the one that lays out all of this information. Here's today where the severe weather will be. Just a very small sliver of northern Kentucky in that level 3 enhanced risk for today. The bulk of the severe weather is going to be from the Ohio River, southern Illinois, Wabash River, southern Illinois, Mississippi River, central southern Missouri, parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, and even down into Texas. That's just the level 3. A big level 2 surrounds it, and then a level 1, which actually comes down to the Bowling Green area. It is more about the possibility of later tonight, we could see some strong to possibly severe storms. Okay. Before I get into the details, let me go to the day 2 and look who's under the gun tomorrow. Pretty much the I-65 corridor, and that includes us. We will be in the bullseye tomorrow, and I'm talking about more tomorrow afternoon and evening. So let's get into the nitty gritty of all this. Now I'll go into the detail of what to expect and when to expect it. So here is today severe weather outlook for uh, this Monday, April 1st. You can see the Bowling Green over to eastern Kentucky is under the level 1 marginal risk, or any storms that form today could be maybe severe, could be at least strong. And there's a hail component in this thing as well. Let me show you that right here. Maybe not so much in the Bowling Green area, but further north and along and north of the Ohio River, that hatched area showing 10% probability of significant 2-inch in diameter or larger hail. That's big, golf ball or bigger. Smaller size hail further south. That's today. Tornado threat back here in that hatched area again. That's St. Louis. St. Louis could see tornadoes today. Smaller risk further south. How about damaging wind? Well, there you go. Pink shaded area, Louisville, Frankfort, Covington, Cincinnati, Owensboro. If you're headed up that direction, any storms that form today could be the kind that produce straight line wind damage, or even, as you saw, a small possibility of a brief tornado. Okay, that's all today right there. There's your overall threat. There's your tornado threat. There's your severe weather threat or severe wind, and then hail. So now let's move on to tomorrow. Again, here's a close up of the bullseye of the level 3 enhanced risk, covering all of the SAM and News 40 viewing area, all of it. So there should not be any questions. Is so and so town going to get hit? Is so and so community going to get hit? All of you have the potential of getting hit. All. Okay. This is not going to be like Bowling Green's in it, but Tompkinsville is not. Bowling Green's in it, but Ohio County's not. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be everybody. And the worst of the storms look to come after midday and through the afternoon and evening. And by tomorrow evening, it'll all be gone and east of us. But as you can see, we're at a level 1, 2, 3 on the chart, midway through enhanced risk. That's a bit rare, but it's spring in Kentucky. So, yes, we're there. Now, here's the tornado outlook. A little bit higher than usual. Usually it's either in the green 2 to 4 or the brown 5 to 9%. But we're in now the 10 to 14% yellow, which means probability of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. So anybody that's in that yellow shaded area within 25 miles of, say, Columbia or Bowling Green or Scottsville or Franklin, you have a 10 to almost 15% chance of getting a tornado somewhere close to you tomorrow. That's, it may not sound high, but it's high. It's high enough. All right. Severe wind, damaging wind, everybody. And we're in that 30 to 44% area. Damaging straight line winds. Everything is going to congeal into a big, long line of thunderstorms tomorrow evening. Before that, we're going to have these individual cells, and those are the ones we call them discrete cells. When they're individually popping up like that, you have a greater tornado threat. All right. So let's look at the hail threat, and it's pretty significant. For us, it's significant. 15 to 29, almost 30% chance of severe hail. That means anything from marble, nickel, dime size, ping pong ball size hail seems to be pretty likely tomorrow. There's a lot of cold air on top of this system and a lot of cold air coming in behind it. And it's that cold air, once these updrafts, these violent updrafts get going, that we're most likely to see hail develop. It just, all that gets pushed up into the thunderstorm where it's much colder, and those little rain droplets become ice. And the longer they stay up there, the buoyancy of the thunderstorm, the longer they stay up there, the more the bigger those hailstones can become. And that's the concern tomorrow, is that they could be aloft a long time and then come down as hail. Anything like 98, I can't say that for sure. That was one of the, we had grapefruit size, about as big as my hand size hail that day. I don't think it's going to be quite that big, but it's going to be big, I think. If we get hail developing thunderstorms, which looks like a real possibility. Um, so after that, everything, as you can see, calms down. These are the days following. Everything looks pretty quiet after that. But this is what we're looking at tomorrow, and it's not looking good. All right. Now, let's move on to the rest of what I've got normally. And then I'm going to come back and show you what the Weather Service, that was Storm Prediction Center, what you just saw. Then I'm going to show you what the National Weather Service locally has pinned out for us. Okay. Got a lot of people watching here, so I want to make sure we cover all the bases. Here's a look. This is what I do normally every morning when there's not a severe weather threat, is show you the way it looks downtown. We have a cloudy day. This is from our AAA Systems live cam from Reservoir Hill, the only one downtown looking live 24 hours a day, where you can see downtown Bowling Green. It's just cloudy. There's no shower activity anywhere close to us. There's some up north, but not much around here. It's just a cloudy start. And this is what I've referred to as the plain old cam, the Plano cam in Plano, Kentucky, just outside of Bowling Green, right here at my house, looking across the street. And everything is just cloudy and quiet. There's no rain showers, nothing going on. Everything pretty quiet on this April Fool's Day, April 1st. Now let's take a look at the radar, and we'll get a better fix on what's developing now and what may be developing later. This is a broad look at the radar, and right there in the middle, this is Bowling Green. Some of these showers are just within a boundary that's off to the north of us. There's no thunderstorm activity. We're seeing all those clouds. Let me turn on the satellite. So you can see we're pretty well socked in with clouds. There's little holes that are opening here and there. There's one down at Dale Hollow Lake. So as of 9:03, as I'm doing this podcast, you're seeing sunshine through the clouds. And then east of Bowling Green, over toward Barron County, you're seeing scattered sunshine through the clouds. And then a bigger hole opening up back here toward Paducah, Morganfield, Kentucky, up toward Evansville, southern Illinois, and the Boot Hill of Missouri. So from time to time today, we're going to see scattered clouds and then later scattered showers. But I don't anticipate anything today that is going to be, severe. There is that possibility that north of us along that boundary, something could fire that's a little bit strong. And then as we get into this evening, if we get more holes opening up in those clouds, then we could get some stronger, isolated, stronger thunderstorms here in southern Kentucky. There's a chance for that tonight. But I don't anticipate anything that's going to be dangerously so for today. We're just going to keep it cloudy with a few scattered showers from time to time. The real threat comes tomorrow. Okay. Here's a look at, I'm going to show you Kentucky mesonet temperatures on this April 1st, and they're quite warm. And another thing I'm going to show you the dew points and the wind, because all of that factors in to a severe weather event. So as you can see, most everybody here at 9:05, the current time this morning, as I'm doing this live. If you're watching later, this is occurring. These are the temperatures at 9:05 this morning. Upper 60s, low 70s everywhere. Now, let's take a look at dew points. Oh, wow. Plenty of moisture. Now, this time of the year, when you see dew point temperatures above 60, that's a red flag. If we had a lot of sunshine right now and we had some kind of trigger, maybe a cold front, maybe an old boundary, maybe a gust front, those are triggers. We don't have any triggers around right now. If we did, we would already be seeing rough weather with those kind of dew points. But there's a cap, and that cap or lid on the atmosphere right now are the clouds. Tomorrow, we may not have that, and that's the problem. But it is already muggy outside. When you see dew points in the 60s, you can feel the moisture. What about the wind? I know it's already breezy. South winds coming in at 10 to 15, but occasionally now we're getting some gusts of 22, 24. Get the idea. 20 to 25, higher gust of probably 30 later today, all surging up ahead of that strong cold front and the system that is going to bring us the severe weather for tomorrow. So all the ingredients are there for something to happen. It just needs something to trigger it to get it to happen. And it will. It will. I'm 99% sure that it will. That's what bothers me. Okay, let's take a look at the model blender. The blender is showing significant changes coming our way. There you see near 80 today. We hit 79 yesterday officially. 66 is where we should be. So that was a 13 degrees above average on temperature yesterday, and we'll probably do it again today. Even with the clouds, I think we'll get 80 or 79. Then tonight we'll go 68 or so. They show 67, pretty close, with a few showers and thunderstorms. Then tomorrow we'll go upper 70s. I'm gonna go 78 instead of the 76 that they're showing there. Before the strongest of the storms move in tomorrow afternoon. Then we see a reset. We see temperatures going down and dew points also going down. And a cooler day, couple of days, Wednesday and Thursday. With the storms gone, the cold front through the area, it's going to turn cooler, but only for a couple of days. After that, we surge back, as you see at the end of next week, into the 60s and 70s, and we could repeat everything all over again. And we're 1 week away from the solar eclipse, which is Monday. And that's right here. Right here, we're showing 72 for a high temperature, but there's also the possibility we could be looking at some clouds or even some showers on Monday. We may not get to see it. I know all these people are coming in from everywhere, and we may not get to see it. I'm just saying it's kind of a long stretch thing here, but there's always that possibility that when an eclipse happens, uh, there's nothing that really changes the possibility of us seeing it. The only thing is, if clouds get in the way, you're not going to be able to see it. So we'll have to just wait and see. It is a possibility from the long-term forecast that I'm looking at right now. All right, now let's get to the maps. Let me show you hour by hour or step by step, pretty much, how this thing is going to play out. It is going to, maybe this afternoon, we start to see a few showers pop up in the area. It's not a guarantee. You see how big this system is. Look at all this. Way back in the Rockies, energy finally coming off the coast of California that's going to kick this thing east, but kick it into high gear. And now the high pressure ridge that's been sitting here fending off any kind of bad weather is moving out in the Atlantic. So now there's nothing to stand in the way of this weather coming our direction. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, let's zoom back in, get a little closer to home here, and let me show you what we're going to look at here. Yeah, there we go. So here's Bowling Green. Now today, there are a few showers north of us that I just showed you on radar. Possibility of a few more, but these would be isolated, scattered, and non-severe. Here we go into 7 o'clock tonight. Look to the west, anywhere southwest of St. Louis, Springfield, Joplin, parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas. That's where the severe weather in the red there is going to be. We are going to be under the warm dome, low pressure system, stalled front to the north. Tonight, that will be the focus for thunderstorm activity. Not necessarily severe, but if enough energy kicks in, then yes, a few of those could, but that's not the big event for us. Here we go into 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. I do think we'll wake up to a round of thunderstorms here in the Bowling Green area and across southern Kentucky, more so back to the west. Okay. So any of the thunderstorms that pop up in the morning could be strong enough to become maybe isolated severe. And that, in other words, not a widespread deal. There could be a few of those that get strong, gusty wind, maybe a little hail. We could have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings tomorrow morning, is what I'm trying to tell you. Overnight into tomorrow morning, but not a big threat, not for us. So I want you to have your weather radios turned on, have your phone turned on, but charging. And if you've signed up for our News40 weather alerts, then you're going to get those on your phone, and your phone will ping you and let you know what's coming, just in case. But this is not the main event. Here we go, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, scattered showers and thunderstorms ahead of the main cold front, which will then be pushing toward the St. Louis area and eastern Illinois, southern Missouri, western Kentucky, Tennessee. Here we go into 7 o'clock tomorrow night. It is actually in between this image, 7 in the morning to 7 tomorrow night before the cold front comes through, as to when we think is going to be the prime time for large hail, damaging winds, lots of lightning, and the possibility of tornadoes and even some flooding rainfall. Rainfall may be heavy enough, especially as the front comes through, for some flash flooding. So that's going to be our prime time. Yes, it's not painted in the red, but it probably will be later today when the new update comes in. Here's 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, leftovers. That's all it is. Nothing severe. Leftover rain early Wednesday morning with the cooler air now coming in behind the front. Here we go into Thursday, pretty quiet to clear up. Here we go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, nothing. So after this wave of stormy weather, things will begin to quiet down a lot once we get past Wednesday morning. But between now and Wednesday morning, we need to be aware that some of this is going to be a little bit dicey. Okay, I'm not done yet. Not done yet. Let me show you the weather briefing from the National Weather Service in Louisville. And this is to recap pretty much what I showed you at the very beginning. Okay, this is important. These are things you need to know, and the timing and all of that. I'm going to be part of a conference call later this afternoon with the Weather Service locally to discuss all of this that I'm about to show you. Here's the severe weather outlook for today and tonight. Notice most of the severe weather risk is north of us, from about Bardstown, E-Town, Hartford, Lexington, north. We are under a level 1. Here's Bowling Green, southern Kentucky. But the real threat is north of us along the boundary. And that's where there's going to be a low to moderate tornado threat, a medium or a moderate hail threat, a moderate to high threat for wind damage, and a medium threat for flooding. And the confidence in all of that happening up there today, medium to almost high. In other words, they're pretty confident. Scattered storms today and this evening, much better chances after midnight tonight in those areas. Now, those folks up there are the ones that are really going to have to sleep, try to sleep with weather radios on, phones on and charged. That's where the worst of the weather is going to be today. Although some of it tonight, as I mentioned, will be down here, but a much lower threat. Okay. Hazards today and tonight, as I showed you a few moments ago at the beginning. Louisville, Lexington, severe hail. Not so much Bowling Green or Southern Kentucky. Look at that. Up to ping pong ball size hail up in Louisville and Lexington, or even Bardstown, or even E-Town. Some of you watch and listen from those areas. It's a possibility. Wind up to 70-mile-per-hour winds. That's going to do damage in those same areas. That's today and tonight. And then the tornado probability, a few. The greatest threat in the brown, which would include Metro Louisville and E-Town and Hartford and Owensboro and Madisonville. That's today and tonight. All right, now let's move on. Flash flood watch, or actually just a flood watch in effect, and that's for the heavy rain. It takes in Lexington, Frankfort, Madison, Indiana, Covington, Cincinnati, east. Nothing for Southern Kentucky, but we are going to look at the potential for some very heavy rainfall tonight and again tomorrow, but that's one of the lower threats right now. Now let's take a look at the severe weather outlook for Tuesday. And again, we're in the level 3 enhanced risk. Notice here it says confidence continues to increase with the potential, but timing and location remains uncertain. So those of you that are already wanting me to answer what time is it going to hit, where is it going to hit, I can't answer that. Not until we get some new data coming in later this afternoon. Even the Weather Service doesn't know. All we know is mainly from mid-afternoon through the early evening hours and even through overnight, some of these will continue, especially east of Interstate 65 tomorrow night into early Wednesday morning. And as I mentioned, the greatest threat, I-65 corridor. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The threats, as I mentioned, damaging winds, large hail, spin-up tornadoes, localized flooding. I'd even include a lot of lightning in there. What is still uncertain, ongoing storms from early Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, may impact the severe threat during the day, especially north of Interstate 64. So in other words, if we get a lot of activity up here early in the day tomorrow, it may cut down on some of the instability later in the day, but I'm doubtful that's going to happen. Just the way things look is pretty doubtful. Confidence in severe storms, high. Confidence in timing and location, low. We're just, there's still some uncertainty. That's why they're painting in all of this area at a level 3 enhanced, just to be on the safe side. So here are the individual hazards. Quarter size or larger hail for everybody. Everybody. Straight line winds of 58 miles per hour or greater for everybody. And then the tornado threat, a few tornadoes are possible in that 10 to 14% I showed you earlier, but we're right here. I mean, a long and east of 65 and east of Bowling Green, that's where the greater threat of tornadoes are going to be. Danville, Harrodsburg, Bardstown, Campbellsville, Columbia, Russell Springs, Somerset, Tompkinsville, Glasgow, then down to Portland, Salina, Tennessee, right in there. The Cumberland Parkway corridor. All right. So, again, this is something that we're all going to have to pay attention to. And today is the day to be prepared for this. I would love if I could come back later or tonight on News 40 at 5, 6, and 10 with an update saying, hey, the threat has gone down. There's going to be enough clouds to negate the instability factor. And so it's not looking as threatening as it did before. I would love to say that. And for those of you that think I love to just get on TV and go on and on and on and interrupt your shows talking about severe weather, no, I want to be at home just like you. I don't want to be there. I, I'm like, when can I go home? But I'm not going to go home until the threat is over. That's just my job. I take it seriously. And I hope that you do too. So today, if you have not been to an Ace Hardware store, get you a weather radio like this one. And there are videos online to get this programmed, or even some of the store managers or personnel at the Ace Hardware stores know how to program it. If not, you can look it up online. There are how-to videos on how to program that. And then, if you don't do that, please download the News 40 Weather App right there. And you can do it. Wait a minute. Let me change hands right there. Scan that QR code. Okay. That's all you have to do. Watch me do it. Open my phone camera. See it? Now I'm going to look at it, take a picture. Well, you don't even have to take a picture. You just hold your phone in front of it and see it puts up a little thing right there that says that's a link. You click that link and it will take you to where you can download the app, whether you have an iPhone or an Android. It will take care of it. And then you've got it on your phone and you're prepared. Always have two or three different ways to stay atop the weather and what's coming in. That way you'll know. It'll send you notifications even in the middle of the night that something's coming, trouble's coming. So again, today is the day of preparation. I'm hoping we don't have anything severe today. We might somewhere in our viewing area or listening area. If we do, then you'll be prepared. But more so, I want you to be prepared for tomorrow. Tomorrow seems to be the key day. And what is so ironic, and I can't overlook this, is that we're almost to the day of the 50th anniversary of the super outbreak of tornadoes, April 3rd, 1974. Many of you remember that. I remember it as a kid. I was 11 and a half years old. I remember staying in my grandparents' basement all night long because the tornado threat was out there. Tomorrow is April 2nd, just one day before the 50th anniversary of the 74 outbreak. It's just bizarre. So I've been watching videos of that, reminiscing. I'm actually going to do a story about that, a look back 50 years ago of the super outbreak of tornadoes and how it affected our area here in Southern Kentucky. So be watching for that. I don't know. Severe weather may, ironically, again, coincidentally, knock it out of the newscast, and we may have to wait till Wednesday or Thursday to look at that. But that's always top of my mind is that Here we go again. Is it going to be that bad? I can't say. I can't say. So let's hope not, because that was a terrible, terrible day. Okay. So many people in the chat room. I mean, we've got hundreds in here today, over 300 or more. I can't get to all of you. Hopefully, I said something that will resonate with you and you will take every means necessary to prepare for what's coming and just be ready. And you can watch us, News 40. I'll have an update tonight, 5, 6, and 10. I'll do another one of these updates this evening if I learn something just big time new. Um, and then, of course, in the morning, once again, everybody just stay calm. Everything's going to be okay. As long as you prepare, you'll be all right. Okay. Have a great day. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And hey, let's hope and pray for the best.